Okay.
Welcome to the magic behind the Ukrainian actors. My name is Bianca, and today we're talking to Pavlo Kochubei. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, we are happy that you had the time because I know you actors are busy, so it's really hard to get an appointment with you. But finally, we made it, and let's start it this way. We would love to know how you started acting or how you got into acting.
Okay. Um, well, I think it started like when I was a little kid. I try to uh, entertain my parents, or not that I tried. I just try to do it, like imitate the characters from different movies, and like I would do like The Godfather. Oh, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. And they really liked it, and they were like, "Oh, you're doing it so well, blah blah blah," and yeah, and then like I did like many things like that, not knowing that those are like kind of what actors do. And then like years later, when I went to school, and then it's like, "Oh, you do this exercise, and that's actually like that's actually an exercise." And so that like all came to be. But yeah, but actually I haven't like started acting till I was like professionally, right? Like when I decided that I'm gonna become an actor until I was like 28, right? Something around that. So I'm yeah, I had like a long curve.
Yeah.
But I've
So
been
you,
doing it pretty much all my life, yeah. More or
yeah.
less.
So you learned first the other profession.
Yeah, a couple of them. A couple of
Oh,
them.
okay. May I ask which one?
Yeah, when it was like time to decide what you're gonna do, my parents were like very decisive, and they said like my father is a professor of economics, and he said like you got to do what I did, and there's no questions asked. And I was 15, like I finished school very early, and I like didn't know what I was like 15. I don't know, it's like whatever. And so yeah, I did like a bunch of other jobs. I was a software engineer for a long time. And yeah, and I worked like in a really big company for almost like 7 years. And then I said that I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, sometimes you need a change. That's true. And I assume you went to acting school or something, or do you have no education in acting?
Yeah, I mean, not, yeah, I did like a 2 year program. For,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because I guess I'm not sure how it is in the Ukraine if you get a certificate if you visited an acting school or if it's just a training or like workshops or something. I'm not sure how it's working in the Ukraine.
I would say like there is this classic track of education, and it's like very respected, and it's like the tradition of like the Stanislavski, and the okay, not so good neighbors, the legacy, right? That the theater is like this huge profession where an actor is a vessel for culture, right? And there's this huge tradition of that, right? But and compare that to a more modern approach, right? Where many popular actors in Hollywood, they don't have like any education, right? Or maybe they're just some
Yeah.
courses, right? And it's like the personality, right? That's what matters. Right. So there are like those two schools, and I think Ukraine is still more in the former camp for now.
Mhm.
But it's starting to change, right? Because right, you don't really need a 4 year degree to do
Mhm.
almost any job. I mean, maybe like unless you're a doctor or somebody, right? And I judge it, and I say it not just from the experience of acting, right, but also from experience of engineering or programming, right, where there's this huge boom, right, where like 4 year degree in computer science doesn't really make sense. You only need like just some sort of basic knowledge of what to do, and then you can learn on the job, right? And that's so yeah, like I mean, we can talk about that. I have a lot of opinion about education and how, because of
Yeah, but
education, also education in Ukraine, it's
Yeah, I must admit, I never been a theory person. I'm more a practical person, and you can show much more if you do it, if you do something and not just reading it in books. But I mean, as an actor, you just need talent to do it, because you need to be able to do something like that, and not everyone can do it.
I guess. And I should have told you that my first job, like the first job that I did, and it was in the university, I was a teacher. I was an English teacher. That's the first job, right, that I did. And my sort of credo was, right, and there's this talent, right? I don't believe in talent. I
Okay.
think it's and actually yesterday we talked about this because I didn't know what it is, like neuroplasticity. I thought it was something else, but then a friend of mine, my girlfriend, she explained to me what neuroplasticity is. And it's like about this neuron path is in the brain, and then like that you can enlarge them with practice, and they get bigger the more you do things, right? And it's like with banal, with I don't know, like if you decide to eat healthy and you choose and choose and choose to do it like day by day, so day by day this path gets bigger. And so I think that's the same. It works the same
Yeah.
for everything, right? And just for those people that we don't know, like, and we haven't seen how they like did it when they were kids, um, they just did it for a long time.
Yeah. By the way, where did you learn, yeah, to speak English that well?
I think I watched a lot of movies, right? A lot of American movies, a lot of
That helps. That helps
yeah,
a lot.
yeah,
Uh,
and
it- Go on.
yeah, no, 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 that's basically it.
Okay.
A lot of
Yeah, yeah, reading or watching movies, that's actually the best way, learning by doing.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, I have problems to learn Ukrainian because I'm learning Ukrainian, but I have really, really problems with it, especially because of the different letters, because it's in Kirill. I
Yeah,
mean, I recognize the words if I'm learning them, but to speak it, oh, horrible. But I've never been a person who is good in learning different languages. Um, so someday maybe I will learn it.
have you ever thought of coming to visit Ukraine, or have you been before?
I would love to, but right now, under the circumstances, it's. I think I'm too afraid to go there.
Yeah, I
And
know.
plus, since I don't have a job at the moment, it wouldn't be possible at the moment. But I would love to, because if I see in your stories, not just yours, or even of your colleagues, and even in the verticals and mini movies or locations where you are shooting, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I mean, I'm not a religious person, but if I see all the churches in Kiev, that's so amazing, so beautiful, and yeah, that's definitely something which is on my plan to go there someday. And Henry
Definitely.
Popenko even invited us for a barbecue if we would come there.
Yeah, absolutely. The other day is booked with me, so I'll take you around.
Great, that sounds like a plan. Um, no, but that's what I admire about the Ukrainians, Ukrainian verticals, because the location, not just all the mansions where you are shooting, but even if you are outside. And it's the weird thing is, on one side, unfortunately, you have war in your country. But on the other hand, you show this beautiful country like there's nothing happened. And that's so incredible to see. And that's actually a good thing to see that you can show it in the movies that it is bad. Don't misunderstand me, but it's don't look that bad.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's yeah. But that brings me to my next questions. How did it come that you end up in mini movies and verticals?
um, uh, no, it's really hard to say that I like, I don't know, as an actor, I mean, you really are not in control most of the time. Like you can certainly, you need to bring your idea, right? Or your definitely your statement, who you are, and that's 100% right. And that's what makes a good actor. But mostly, right, you're really like you're always looking for a job. You always have to read the script and give respect to the writer, and then you have to do what the director wants, right? And then it's like this whole thing, right? And so I don't know, it just happened. I
It
guess.
just happened.
Yeah, it just happened.
It was fate.
Yeah.
No, but because I saw you being, I must admit, I didn't watch all mini movies yet. Because on YouTube, like Dramatize Me, LoveBusters, and Be Kind, there are around 1,600 to 1,800 mini movies. I wasn't able to watch them all yet, but so far I watched 500, and that's why I only
That's a good number. That's
found
a good number.
that's why I only found three with you so far. But I'm not done yet because I have to watch all those movies because I'm doing the filmographies of all you actors because our headquarter of the fandom is on Discord. Because on Discord we can publish more information than on the other social medias. So that's why yeah, I have there the mini movie filmographies, the vertical filmography, and all the social medias of you actors. And then I found also you being so far in 4 verticals. Let's name them. The first one I saw was Rejecting My Lycan Mate. You played a counselor. You've been pretty on the end of the movie. We could see you on the end of the movie.
The
And
beginning.
the next part was Billionaire disguised as a gigolo. You've been the host of the strip club.
Yep. Yep. Been there, done that.
So those were the beginning where you just had a side role, and then you had two lead roles.
Yeah.
First, no, I'm not sure if under the royal, no, you didn't mean really the lead role, but oh,
Yeah.
does it
In
count
that
as a lead
instance, the
role?
main bad guy.
Yeah, yeah. You been bad. Yeah, I just watched the end again because I forgot how it's ended, but yeah, you been the son of Duke Stonehaze, which he had with his mistress. You been actually everyone thought you been you been dead after an accident, but you were hiding because you had to recover your injuries for many years, and then you came back and tried to get the fame, the title, the money, and you
Yeah.
even wanted to kill. And the last vertical where we seen you, and that's where we have later on some questions too, is confession. You had actually not a double role, but you being a priest. And actually, you used to be a police officer, an agent.
Mhm.
But after some circumstances, you found your way to the church. And you found, actually, there was Anastasia Ivanyuk who played a mafia princess who tried to find help in the church. And so you meet each other, and then the problem starts. Because actually, how I'm not sure if you are a religious person, because I think the Ukrainians are very religious. How was it for you to find the balance between a priest who sinned and found a woman with who he had some fun, or not just fun, it was more, but we don't want to mention it directly here because we don't know who's watching.
Yeah, I think I mean at first it seemed like very hard topic to approach, right? It seemed
Mhm.
almost impossible, right? Given the script and how everything unfolds. And but that book that I mentioned, right? And Anastasia, right? She suggested that I read that book because she read it like in high school a long time ago, and she really liked it. And so I started reading the book, and that book really helped because there it sort of gives this other side of priesthood of Vatican, right? It shows priests not only as like holy human or like
Yeah.
not human, right? Or something like holy, something just
Yeah.
related to God, almost spiritual, right? But more of as a like respected, powerful, influential cast that is rich and they're like, they also humans
Yeah.
and they have and then there it's very sort of uh, they show this conflict right between that they really believe that there is God and there's we can sort of communicate with God, but then we also have the human desires, right? We're not holy, right? We're not spirits, right? In that sense, and we
Yes, and Father Luca, he punished himself after he sinned. He
yeah
whipped himself because yeah, it was forbidden, and so he had to learn to accept it that he's just human. He fell in love,
yeah yeah
and that must be I don't know. That's I love this vertical because the controversy of both sides, and you guys played it very well. I liked it a lot. It was still it was steamy, but it was still discreet, and it showed how it's maybe happened for real in the world because it's not just a story. Sometimes happens something like that too.
yeah now I'm thinking about this. And it's like, so Luca, he really punishes himself, like really punishes himself, like physically
Yeah,
punishes.
yeah.
But all of us, or like a lot of people, are doing this like on a day-to-day basis, but on much smaller scale. Like you make a mistake and you say, "Oh my God, you're so stupid." You're like,
Hmm.
maybe I'm just being philosophical and thinking perhaps we should, but because we shouldn't do it, right? We shouldn't punish ourselves for like when we shouldn't like talk badly to ourselves about this, and then we should
Yeah,
just a lot of people are not doing it, and that is, I guess, that extreme that you can take yourself.
yeah, yeah. Did you had something special how to prepare for this role, or how do you prepare your roles in general?
I try to do as much as possible. Like there with projects in Ukraine, there's always like a very hard limit in terms of time you have to prepare, right? So it's not usually like a month. It doesn't
Yeah, I
happen.
know. It's
Um,
worldwide like that. Yeah,
yeah, right. But I try to do as much as possible, right? For whatever time allows, right? So the book, right? I read the book. I try to go to the church and just to get the idea of what it feels like there, right? Um, yeah, I haven't watched like films specifically because that is like very dangerous because you can like really fall into doing the same thing that you saw.
yeah, yeah,
Not really try to rely on the imagination in the real world, right?
yeah,
For the right. And then it just like going around and thinking about this character and reading the script and reading the script and reading the script and just
yeah.
trying to imagine what the character would look like and how he would act and talk and everything.
Yeah, I mean, in the vertical world, you don't have time for rehearsals
Yeah.
because it's all short term. I mean, it's not just in Ukraine like that, it's all over the world in the vertical scene. Um, so, I mean, I guess what helped a lot was the absolute great cast, like George, like Lee, you,
Yeah.
Anastasia, and even Anton and Pedro. They did a
Yeah.
great job.
Yeah.
They really did a great job. Um, that reminds me. how do you do it if you don't have that much time to prepare for a role? How do you manage it to learn your scripts that you can keep all the words in your mind? How do you do that? Is there a secret?
Uh, I would say that I would want to say that there is a secret, but it's just practice, like we
Mm.
just the more you do it, the more it's unlike when you read a lot, when you just kind of know what the character is gonna say. And if you know your character well, right, like you kind of understand where the scene is going and you understand and it's like it just makes sense to say that at that time. Especially
Yeah,
that, especially
yeah.
when it's a
You
lot.
just have to jump into this role. You have
Yep.
to become this role. Yeah. I guess it's like in school. If you learn for a test and you wanted to cheat, you wrote down the cheat notes, but on the end you didn't needed it because while you wrote the cheat notes, you learned it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly.
um,
I
yeah,
used
let me think. By the way, I finally found my questions. My system is working now. So, um, while we're talking about even scripts, are there any directors or screenwriters in the vertical film space you love to collaborate with or with who you want to work with? It don't have to be just with Ukrainian directors or script writers, even worldwide.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that there's like a specific director, specific or specific screenwriter. Maybe there is a story that I'd like to do, and it doesn't have to be specifically vertical, but I'm thinking that I really want to do a romantic comedy. Like I really want to do a
Mhm.
romantic film, like very cheesy, very well, well, I mean, I guess age is not maybe that important, but while I can still play the lead in the romantic comedy and sort of, you know,
You are not that old.
yeah, I know, but I don't know. For me, like romantic comedy is something about, like very young people falling in love for some reason. I don't know.
May I
Maybe it's not true. Maybe you're right, and it doesn't have to be.
may I ask how young you are?
I'm 33.
Oh, that's young. Oh, come on. That's still young.
Yeah, absolutely. Jesus Christ.
Right now in the vertical scene, there are so many movies where the actors who are actually young in real life, they play older guys who hook up with younger females. So you still can go easily for years.
All right. It's good. I have this reassurance. Thank you.
No, but 33, it's not old. Um, do you have actually a role model under the actors worldwide?
Um,
Or are there actors who inspire you?
yes, and I think there are many, many actors and many actors who inspire me. But it's like one thing. I don't know. I think I read it back in some book on game design, but I don't know why I read it. But and so it told a story about the jungler, right? And so the person in the book, he gives this example where he goes to a concession, right, of junglers, right? People who juggle balls, right? And so there's one guy that just stands out from the crowd, right? He does something unbelievable. So he comes to him and he asks him, well, like, what are you doing? How do you do it? And so he goes, look at all the guys, they're looking for inspiration in each other, right? They're looking inside the field of jungling, right, for inspiration. But I never look for inspiration inside this field. I always look for inspiration in nature, in other fields. And so I kind of remembered that story. And and I think for all the great performances that I see, and like great performances to me are not maybe those that are like Hollywood actors, right? But it's like a great performance could be like in a local theater, right, where somebody does something, right, and it's like no, like just that 50 people see it, and that's it. They like, and usually those performances are something that is inspired by real life or like life outside of acting, right? And I guess that's what acting is about, right? Is about telling stories about life, right?
That's true.
Uh, and so
I'm
yeah, and so I try to look for other people, right? So like real personalities. I don't know. I love. I just recently I've been watching an interview of Barack Obama. I mean, I'm a fan. I don't know.
Yeah, me
And
too.
even Donald Trump. I love him, because he's so funny.
I'm not a political person, but
Well,
Obama being great as human
yeah,
beings.
and but I don't know. They're like I love like scientists and painters and designers and engineers, right? And yeah, I'm a huge fan of Richard Feynman, right? And the physicist, the inventor of the, I forgot the name of the. So yeah, people would think that he invented the what's the field of physics? Not the neuroscience, but the other field. Anyway, I forgot the word.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm sorry, I can't help you there. No, but you are right. I mean, there are so many actors outside, and not all. Many people would say they have a role model under the actors who doing only something in front of the camera. But there are so many other places where you can act. Like I saw you, you are not just acting in front of the camera; you're also acting in theaters.
yeah, 100%. 100%. That is acting, because in film and verticals, it's a lot about like what the director wants, what the camera wants, and there's a lot of things to do or how to show emotion or convey emotion, to show the state of the character without the actor, himself or
Yeah,
herself.
and you
But in
have the audience right in front of you.
Yeah, but in theater, right, it's slightly different. It's like in the theater, if the actor is not doing a good job, that's it. Nothing is going to happen.
Yeah, you get
And
you get immediately the feedback of the
yeah,
audience.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, I see it a lot that you Ukrainian actors doing both TV shows, verticals, and theater. And sometimes I'm asking myself how you manage it. You have to learn for a theater so long because you have to rehearsal all the time before you can go on stage and have the shows. But at the same time, you shooting some new verticals, and I said, how are you doing that? How you manage that?
it's Ukrainian magic. I-
Yeah, I see that. That was the first part of The Magic Behind Ukrainian Actors featuring Pavlo Kochubei. I hope you enjoyed so far our interview. And if you want to know how it's going on, you can be excited because there will be soon a second part. So stay tuned